So I legitimately had a man tell me that my videos on politics and the things I talk about with race, they offended him, and that it's obvious to him that I am no friend of the black man. Why is that? Because I'm talking about things that are going on in current events that bother you? Because they're probably true? Look, dude, it doesn't matter. White people aren't perfect either. And I've never sided with one race or another. I'm just talking about the things that are going on right now in this world, in this country. The things that are wrong. And if that's hard for you to swallow, then it tells me a couple things. Is one, I'm hitting a nerve, which means I'm probably talking the truth about something. And number two, it exposed something to you, maybe about yourself or people you know that you don't like. But I'm not talking race as a racist, dude. I'm talking about politics. Like I said, whites have a lot of fucked up shit in the history of the world, man. But the problem is when somebody puts us on blast, it's not a big deal. Nobody cares, right? Look, man, the stuff I say about Antifa and all that, man, I stand on that. And the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of things these motherfuckers did wrong. I understand that there's a couple things that you guys had a right to protest about. There was a few things that were wrong. That killing of George Floyd in Minnesota, absolutely unnecessary. Those cops were awful. They were criminals, and they should all be in prison for what happened. You're hearing that out of my mouth. That was absolutely disgraceful. But Michael Brown was a criminal that assaulted other people and then assaulted a police officer, was killed in the process of a police officer trying to defend his life against his criminal actions. That was one of the main events when BLM and Antifa started coming out making a problem. And they were wrong for that. They were defending a criminal. Rodney King, the guy that was behind the LA riots, the guy was a drug dealer selling drugs to kids. He was a piece of shit. Okay? I just saw a video the other day where a son was sentenced to some years in prison at 13 years old, a kid that was 13, because he was gangbanging. He pointed a gun at the cops. His mom got on an interview and said, I don't understand why they're putting my son in prison. He's never done anything wrong. He's 13 years old. You can't take his life away from him. And honestly, he's lucky to be alive because cops aren't trained to shoot warning shots. That's wrong in so many ways. First off, a cop is never trained to take a life. That's coming from somebody who grew up in a family of law enforcement, okay? That's a police officer's last resort, unless they have to defend their life or the life of somebody else against somebody that's dangerous and causing an immediate threat. They are not trained to take a life. They are not soldiers. You understand? To serve and protect, that's their job. And the fact that your son pointed a weapon at a police officer and that police officer didn't shoot him, and your son survived to go stand in front of a judge and take that sentence, tells me that that cop is a good one. He's good at his job. And honestly, instead of sitting there and trying to blame the system for your son going to prison, you should maybe question what happened in your home that caused things to go down that road. Why did your son make that choice? Stop blaming other people, man. All these things that are going on now, what world are we living in, man? This world is like on fire. It's burning down, dude. You got people driving down the streets, American streets, like waving, flags for Hamas and protesting for Hamas. Are you kidding me? They're a terrorist organization. You have college women that went out in a protest at one point. I saw it on a YouTube short, and they were waving a fucking flag for the Taliban, dude. That's a terrorist organization. In case y'all forgot the last 20 years. Okay? And if there's one thing I know about the Taliban, they definitely respect free-willed women who go into open protests and spread their opinion with their faces uncovered. Believe me. Or could you hear the sarcasm in that statement? This shit is ass backwards, and like I said before, this is what's causing racism in this country. This is what's causing the fear in people. This is why we are having such problems, man. People have a right to stand up for things when they're wrong, but that's not what you're doing. You're trying to make a problem out of every single thing that happens. And right now, this country's on fire. Then you got these Gen Z people out here making videos about, well, if World War III comes to our door, I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna do this. You're an American citizen, dude. You're living off the freedoms of this country. If you're called on to pay a price for those freedoms, you're gonna pay that price, or you're gonna become a felon. That's how it works. And of course, a bunch of these guys on the videos, oh, I'd rather go to jail. That's fine, I'll go to jail. I'll serve time in prison. I'd rather do that than be in the military. Well, that's fine, because there's a lot of people in prison right now that would probably trade places with you in a heartbeat. Prison's not a nice place, and I bet if a bunch of you motherfuckers do turn down the draft if it comes and get put in prison, you'd be singing a different tune. Because there's no leftists, there's no right wings, there's no fucking politics in prison except the prison politics. And you're going to figure that out when you get there. You think that all the bullshit going on in the streets of this country is bad? Wait till you're living on a fucking cell block, homie. And I've never been there, but I have friends that have. It ain't a place you want to be. This country needs to get some fucking logic, dude. They need to start figuring some shit out. Because we're really doing a bad job of, keeping this country afloat right now. We're really doing a bad job of educating the young people and of exercising our rights here. The people that do go out and exercise their rights, for the most part, are stupid. And the ones that go out and exercise the actual, opinions that are true, people like me, we get shit on for it. We get called racist and fucking all kinds of other shit, dude. Just because of the fact that I'm white and I'm a right-wing person, I have been compared to the Nazi party. Are you fucking kidding me? My ancestors fought in World War II against the Nazis and against what they were doing. You protesters that are standing up for Hamas, a group that at this point in time is trying to destroy the state of Judaism and eradicate them, that's the same shit the Nazis did.